Hello and welcome to episode 85. I am Leah Liz, and this is a series, Journaling Through the Years, on this channel wherein I read from my journals that I've been old enough that I've been writing in with a pen or a pencil. We said most likely a pencil when I was little, really little, because they didn't trust me with a pen when I was a little kid. No, they don't. Like, little kids don't really, like, write with pens when they're first starting to write. I think because they may make mistakes. And then as we get old, we're like, who cares? Just cross off that wrong word, whatever. Or we just type. And that's what blogs are now. They're journals that everyone can see, I guess. I don't know. It's like 2006. In 2006, everybody was writing in a blogger, and here I am, like, 2023 artistthriving.blogspot.com. Anyways, I wanted to say, I haven't forgot to say this in the last couple of entries, I hope you're having happy holidays and doing well with that. I know that holidays can be kind of a hard, difficult for people. This time of year gets a little darker, you get a little bit more, don't have as much of the sunshine, but yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Drinking water, eating food, getting enough sleep, exercise, and just taking time, because it can be stressful, it can be time of depression, things get heavy at this time of year. So, but also remember to celebrate, if you, for whatever that is, if it's Hanukkah, Festivus, Christmas, Solstice, Kwanzaa, happy holidays. Okay. Bonfire merch and all the links in the description below. We sat together. Okay, we're reading from this one again. And remind me if we've read the premiere. If any of these sound familiar. I don't know. But I remember something about a whale of a time with this whale. But I'm still reading it for a while until you tell me, like, stop reading that, and I just... Okay. We sat together in the moonlight, a fire burning low. I think I'm writing about camp, so I think this is junior year, and I'm writing about summer camp. We sat together in the moonlight, a fire burning low. Fear was not in our hearts. No thoughts. Fear was not in our thoughts. No, I don't know where fear is. It's just not there. Comfort was what we knew. Oh, this is sweet. Love was in her hearts. Her lips, this is gonna sound sexy, her lips moved softly and quickly over the words that fell from them. Oh, our speech was simple, yet we talked of our life, of the changes that had occurred. Over the years, we'd fallen in love with male creatures. Why did I call these, like, male creatures? Like, I had a boyfriend when I was in my early 20s. I still am friends with him, and he would call women females. Like he was, like, in awe of them. Like, they were somehow different, a different species. Females, and I'm writing male creatures as if, like, some kind of, like, poetry. And it's interesting because at this time, being a teenager, not understanding the relationships, whether that's just a universal thing when you're trying to figure out, like, if you're attracted to the opposite sex or attracted, same sex, whatever, the person you like is kind of an other. You don't know what it means to be in a relationship when you're young, but also for me, I'd been hurt before. Wasn't raised in a place where I knew how to have real meaningful connections, and so it's interesting that I used those. So I'd been led around people that had hurt me for whatever reason, maybe their own immaturity, their own issues in their lives, or because they're jerks, or they're just young. But so, like, taking these boys, now men, and not seeing them as human, but as some kind of creature, because they'd hurt us, these male creatures. When I say boys, I was trying to be poetic. It's just a weird thing to say. But I really like the description of this moment that I had with this girl at camp. In probably, I think we were junior counselors together, and I think it was 3 of us. I think it was the camp counselor and then the other junior counselor and myself, and that we were sitting together, and the campers had gone to bed, and the 3 of us were sitting together just like talking about stuff, about camp, and just opening our hearts to each other about people we'd loved, boys we loved, all that stuff. And I think that for someone like me that didn't know how to engage and had lost a sense of trust from those that she'd been from female creatures, from girlfriends like Bad A and my so-called best friend, those were the first times that I really like put a wall up against any real meaningful female connection. This was a moment by a fire at camp where I was having a nice heart-to-heart with 2 other girl friends. Just a moment, because then we went off into different places, and maybe that's what made it so special, is that we only had that night. I mean, there were other nights, but to really just bond and talk. And but I think sometimes, so I wrote this film, and we're going to be filming it next spring, called One Day, and it was loosely based on a real life experience where in 2012 I met this girl at a coffee shop, and we ended up hanging. We both going through a really kind of difficult time in our lives. I was married to the abuser, and she was just trying to figure herself out, and we ended up hanging out all day and going for a hike, and then came down at the end of the day and never saw each other again. And that was such an impact on me, that we were both able to share so much. And so there is something about opening up to somebody you'll never see again for whatever reason, and just feeling heard and feeling seen. And I think that for me, having been being betrayed by 2 of my female girlfriends, they were female girlfriends, girl space friends, that were not necessarily the most healthiest of individuals. I see that now, and not and in their own heads, and so they couldn't necessarily be what I needed them to be, and I wasn't healthy at the time. But looking at where they went in life and where they are now and where I am in now, I realized that they weren't the healthiest people for me to have in my life. But then I didn't know, and then I was feeling a sense of betrayal. So this is such a sweet moment that a couple months after that, I ended up at camp having this heart-to-heart with these two young girls, and that I never forgot it, and that we bonded over these crushes and over these past relationships that we shared. And I probably told them my story that I'd had most recently, and they probably really connected with me on that. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I probably did. Probably told them some version of it. But that moment, yeah. So I'm going to end that with, and say it with me, you are loved, you are worthy of love, you matter, your life matters, and always remember to love your thrive and find your sunshine.